Hello everyone, my name's Idiotic Synergy, and today we are talking about a new Necromunda model, Lady Hera, 13th daughter of Lord Helmore. And I am surprised that Lord Helmore has the time to procreate, if I'm being honest, because Lord Helmore is the person that runs Necromunda. He has to sort of micromanage every single thing in the planet, or else he will get executed. It's the most stressful job I think anybody has in 40k, because yeah, he isn't in control, because he's not in control of like armies, he's in control of like a few enforcers and that's it. And he has to micromanage everything to make sure Necromunda maintains its imperial tide, and I don't envy him that job, because if anything goes wrong, he gets executed. So it's a bit weird that he's got time for the old anky panky, if you ask me. But Lady Hera, I think I'm saying that right. I could be wrong. I do apologise. I'm terrible with names. Is a model in Necromunda, and I think she looks really cool. However, it's weird, just lore-wise, it's weird that she would be in the Underhive without having a vast mass of enforcers around her at any given time. I do like the model though. It is how I imagined somebody related to Helmore to look like. You know, very regal, very pompous, kind of terrifying at the same time because she's armed with fucking swords and a spear. The spear is a really interesting weapon as well. And I like the little servo skulls. Look at them. They're great. I love the little servo skulls. At first I thought this was like a jester hat, but it's not. I really like the little servo skulls that basically have to carry a dress. It's so dumb. I like it. It fits with Necromunda. It does fit with Necromunda, and I would happily use this model as like an Inquisitor model. I do love how fancy and over the top it looks. Seriously, it's a great model. Though the armor looks really stupid. The armor does look quite derpy. I I like how armored it is, but then it's like giant fluffy robe thing here. It's really weird, and I kind of like it, but it's just silly. It's silly and it fits. I kind of hate how it fits with Necromunda. But it says she is a sociopath and backstabbing murderer, directly responsible for the deaths of dozens of her siblings and rivals. Yeah, she's related to Helmore. Helmir, however you want to pronounce it. Helmir's basically also dabbles in the old assassination because he has to, just to make sure he doesn't die. I love Lord Helmore because he is just the world's stressed man versus the entirety of the issues that the Imperium face condensed down in a planet that he has to just deal with. Is great. But yeah, it's really weird that she's in the Underhive. I do hope there's a story or like a book explaining why she's there, because otherwise it just seems odd. You know, it just seems odd unless she just really just wants to kill things. Or maybe her dad has ordered her to go down there and assassinate people, which I wouldn't put past him, to be fair. But yeah, I really like the model. The model looks sick. And her weapons are really interesting as well. So there's 3 servo skulls carrying her dress. Because of course there is. But she also has a bloody refractor field. And the skulls provide 360 degrees of vision, which is really bloody good in Necromunda, because that means you can target anyone without having to turn the model to face them. That is really bloody useful. Seriously, that is really useful. The idea that you can see everyone. Also, it makes deep striking a unit really difficult, because deep striking in Necromunda works where as long as the person doesn't have field of view of where they would deep strike, then they can deep strike there. So it's sort of like you have to make sure their backs are turned and stuff. But having a model that can see everything, regardless of where they're facing, that's really good. That is really bloody good. I'll bet you this model is expensive, both in-game and in real life. Also, Lady Hera has backstab and dodge skills. That's quite good. That, again, really good. But, unfortunately, she does have a fucking phase sword. And I hate phase swords. Basically, if you equip anyone with a phase sword, you just hate the player opposite. Because there's no armor save. They go through shields. I think the only way to stop a phase sword from killing you is if you've got an invulnerable save. Because if you haven't, then you're fucked. Because usually you give your champion or your leader a phase sword, so they hit on 2s, will probably most likely wound on 2s or 3s, and there's no save against it, so your guy just automatically dies. It's an absolute cunt to deal with. Seriously, I hate it. But I do digress. However, what is interesting is the spear, because as you can see here, the spear is a ranged weapon. It is a ranged weapon. Short range 4 inches, long range 8. +1 to hit. Strength 4, AP -2, damage 2. Trait knockback. And it's got homing teleport as well. Each time Lady Hera uses her power spear, I swear I've pronounced that name 3 different times already. My apologies. To make a ranged attack, roll a d6 on a 3 up, nothing happens. On a 1 or 2, the homing teleport built into the power spear runs out of charge after returning it. And then you can't use a ranged attack for the remainder of the battle. That's quite interesting. Seriously, that is really quite... I like weapons like that where there's risk-reward. That's why I love plasma. Or just grenades. Because grenades have blast templates, and if you fuck up throwing them, then the template gets put on you unless you scatter it. It's really quite silly. And I love grenades. That's why I've got 2 kamikaze ogrins with blasting charges. So even if I fuck up, someone will die horribly. Probably me, knowing my luck, but then again, it's Necromunda and I'm playing Nurgle Ogren, so you got to have fun there. And it is important that you have fun. I just hate phase weaponry, because there's no save against it, and I played against someone that was running not Gene Stealer Cult, Corpse Grinder Cult once, and they had a phase sword. They brought it off like the trading post, or was it the black market? I can't remember. Great. Anyway, they brought the phase sword and put it on their leader, which had the ability where every unsaved wound that the leader would make, you would gain 1 to your movement per wound that you do, and it stacks. So if you were fighting against, I don't know, Ogrins, and Ogrins have 2 to 3 wounds, and your leader, and that leader does, like, kills 2 Ogrins, 1 with 2 wounds, 1 with 3 wounds, then it's +5 to their movement. So by the end of the game, they can just charge from any distance. It's insane. It is insane, and and that's why for the gaming club that I go to, there's a house rule where if you play Gene Stealer Cult, you can't take that trait because it does break the game completely, unless you're using it to play one specific scenario with cannibals and you're all working together. That's like the one permissible time you can use that trait, because otherwise fighting against it's just, there's no point. There is no point, and I have digressed again. But that is Lady Hera. I've pronounced that name so many times, and I'm pretty sure I've gotten each time wrong, so there's that. And honestly, it's a great model. It is a fantastic model. I would use it as an Inquisitor model. It fits as an Inquisitor model. It fits as like a Lord Solar model, or like a it fits as a Lord Solar model. It fits. You can easily use this as like a guard model if you so desire. Maybe for Mordian Iron Guard, or for no fuck. You could use this for Frustroyan Firstborn if you wanted to do like a proper regal, posh army. Praetorians or Frustroyan Firstborn have this model as like a Lord Solar. That would be amazing. Oh, sorry. Or even Mordian Iron Guard, that could work. Okay, I've got an idea. I've got an idea now. Right. I've got an idea for a guard army involving this model. Oh, yes. Anyway, I've been Idiotic Synergy. Sorry, I've got an idea for kit bashing, but I've got other models to sort out. Like, I've got 24 Chaos Cultists I need to paint. Yeah, I brought 24 Chaos Cultists. And yeah, I need to paint them at some point. Anyway, I've been Idiotic Synergy. I'll see you later. Remember, take care, stay safe, and maybe subscribe to me if you want. No one's forcing you. See you next time, and bye.